Hi, my name is Jason Soares. Welcome to The Best Bulls. This is Sushi. In this episode, we're going to go over dog discipline, dealing with dogs with a group, training the dogs, and how important it is for the dogs and the structure for you and the dog. On top of that, we're going to go over Khaleesi, one of our pregnant females, and talking all about that. And then last but not least, we're going to go over our dog facility progress and showing that. Hi, my name is Jason Soares, and welcome to the Best Bulls Ranch. So, dog discipline, dog training, all those things tied together is an extremely important subject. Number one, if I had to tell you like what's the number one thing to train your dog is just spending time with them and socializing them. But there's also little things that you have to do when you spend time that are going to do exponential work in the sense of like being able to train your dog and make sure that they're good. So for example, we have Sushi right here. She's spending time with me, which is huge because she's just becoming socialized and used to that, and that's extremely important. But then there's also little things and details I'm gonna go over right now that are very important that you need to make sure you're doing and checking all that stuff. So it's a little hot out. We're gonna take Sushi and put her away. I always love showing her off. She's our baby. We're gonna put her away, and then we're gonna get back and talk about this stuff, and then go around and show you everything. Say bye, Sushi. Bye, Sushi. All right. So now talking about dog discipline, it's a very important subject, and it has to be done. And I know. To start off with, like the counters are, oh, that's mean. I don't want to do it to my dog. I'm not asking you to do anything mean. I'm not asking you to do anything bad to your dog. On quite the opposite, it's actually going to be better for your dog, better for you, better for everybody. So it's extremely important to have that discipline. Now, that being said, there's some debates in the dog world. We'll go over. Should we touch a dog, like hit the dog? Should we not hit the dog? And there's different methods. Like we only praise good behavior, we ignore bad behavior. Sort of like with kids. And I have my way of training a dog, and it just goes back to like Mother Nature and how the dogs are used to it. Like the dogs are derived from the wolves, and they're pack animals, and how wolves are have a pecking order just like us humans, and that has to be kept. And if you can keep that, it's very good. So that being said, I am not against hitting a dog like in a corrective manner, like to correct them, jump them out of the state they're in the neck, in the butt, in places that you're doing it specifically to jump them out, to reset them. Cesar Millan, I love Cesar Millan. He's very, very good. If you guys ever want to, look into training your dog, I highly, highly recommend Cesar Millan. I'm nowhere near that level. He's very good. He does little things like that, like jolting them, maybe a little tap and stuff. And I'm about that because really, if you go look back into like the wolf and the pack animals and where they're from, the wolves, there's an alpha. And if another dog tries to, step out of line, tries to challenge for alpha, they sort of beat them up a little bit, like, a rough house. Never to hurt them, really. Not never. There's certain cases, like if the wolf was really bad. But normally, 9 times out of 10, not to hurt, and just to check them and put them in place. And that's what I believe in. I'm never hitting a dog like people like are hitting a dog to hurt them. Never. We're never doing that. That's quite the opposite. If you're doing that, you should also make sure you know how to discipline a dog, because if you do, let's say there's people that like punch a dog, you punch a dog in the hips, you ruin their hip, that's horrible. You should never do stuff like that. Just correction things. Now that being said though, having a disciplined dog is extremely important, regardless if you have 1 dog, 2 dogs, 5 dogs. Now the more dogs you have, honestly, the more crucial it gets, because if you have a lot of dogs and there's no alpha, they're gonna be running free. It's gonna be craziness, and that's what you don't want. And that's honestly, if you've never heard stories about this before, it's very common with like for example, the dogs are let's say you have 3 dogs, and now they start picking on one, and they decide they're gonna attack the other one. They can kill the other one, and it happens in the bulldog world. Leaving 3 dogs outside, and they've been fine, but then they just maul the other one, and they exhaust it, and they kill the other one. And that happens because one, it could be a bunch of reasons why they do that, but the main reason is that those dogs don't understand who alpha is, and they are acting on their own. Now, if they know that I'm the alpha, they're not going to do those kind of things, and that's very important. And then on top of that, with you around too, like dogs will start fighting each other because they're fighting who's alpha, who's this, who's that, whatever. But if they know I'm alpha, they know not to do anything unless I say it. Like, they won't fight. And if I even saw a little thing, I said one word, they're done, because they know that I'm the boss, and they don't want to. They understand that. And if they don't understand that you're the boss, that's when chaos happens. It's the same thing with people. You know, if there was no police, if we didn't have rules and stuff like that, it would be chaos. There's rules, and there's rules in the wolf world, in the pack animal world. And dogs, even though we've domesticated them and they live with us, they still need that structure. And they've gotten out of it because now people are like, oh, that's my baby and stuff like that. It's like, listen, I have my daughter's Leah. That's my baby girl. But she will have structure. She will be disciplined. She will be nice. She will be yes sir, no sir. And I think that's my personal approach to it, and I think that's what I believe in. And then she will behave better because of that, and everything will go better. There's structure and all that stuff. Of course, I don't think she needs to be walking like a soldier, all that. We're not in the army, but there needs to be discipline with my daughter. I love her more than anything, but I'm still gonna have the discipline with her, and the same thing with my dogs. I love them, but there's going to be discipline with them because there has to be. You know, there has to be that kind of thing, so there's not chaos. So now, with training them, there's a whole bunch of levels you can take to train them. My most important thing is just they know the pecking order. They know I'm alpha or you're alpha, depending on your dogs. And then from there, as far as like all of their stuff, sitting, I like, of course, them know how to sit, like know how to stay. And I like them to know how, like when I feed them, I tell them to eat, and they eat on command. Those are the three things that all my dogs know. Now, as far as like tricks, rollovers, stuff like that, not all my dogs know those tricks, but the stop, stay, all those things, the main things that are important to deal with a bunch of dogs, all my dogs know that. So that's very important. Now, if you want to do more things and spend more time with the dog, that's fine. That's totally fine. Now, my rule with training dogs is I like to try to stick with how they derive from Mother Nature, and then on top of that, it's just repetition. Like for example, and little tricks for when I starting off with a puppy, the puppy will learn how to sit and eat on command by the time they're 3 months old, like most of the time, because every time I feed them, I tell them to sit and I put them in the sitting position. I say good job, pet. I tell them to eat. And then I just let them go. They probably eat, and then they just learn over time. So it's just repetition, doing things like that, and then also extremely rewarding a dog when they do good things. When a dog, if you're trying to teach a dog to stop doing a good thing, I'm going to reward them when they do a good thing, and I'm going to tell them no when they do a bad thing, and maybe like no, tap on the head, and I sort of like act angry, so they're like, man, why is he mad? It's like, oh, because I pooped in my stall. Okay. And the next time I come in there and they're pooping in the stall, I'm like, oh, good job, Khaleesi, good girl. Maybe even treats if the dog's food driven, things like that. So that's how I train the dog. There's a lot of methods to train the dog. Like I said, I would really recommend looking into Cesar Millan, amazing dog trainer. I love his methods and all that stuff. There's a bunch of different styles, but that's a style I like. So now I'm going to go over right now the flip over method, which I think is extremely important just to get that submissive behavior from your dog and get you to be alpha. And I'll just show me messing with Fury and stuff like that. He's such a good boy. But I mean, all my dogs are submissive. So let's go show you the flip over method right now. It's very important, and I'll talk about that and why we do it and stuff like that. And it's a very important method that everyone should know, and I feel like most people don't know it and understand the rationality behind it. So let's go do that. Boy, hey boy. So get out of there. Of course, you guys know who Fury is. Last episode we did Fury. One of the big things that is very important for bulldogs and for dogs period is structure. Like just like kids, a lot of people think they should have structure and stuff. But with dogs, there's no argument. Dogs are from a pack animal. They're from wolves, pack animals, and they thrive and love structure. They should also be very obedient, and they should know that you are the alpha. Fury knows I'm the alpha. Like, one way you can really he's just being excited. Fury down. Sit. Yeah, Fury, sit. Fury, come. Fury, come. Sit. He gets excited. His only flaw is that sit. Sit. His only flaw is that he gets very excited with people. He's a very loving dog. So like right now, Cowboy's here recording and stuff, so he wants to go see the camera and do all that stuff. But he's a very good dog. He's very submissive too. If I turn him over on his back, so I'm gonna turn him over. The way I turn him over is I grab opposite legs and I flip him over. okay? And the way that you see that he's very good on his back, a lot of people are like, oh, my dog doesn't like being on their back. It's like, no, they don't like being submissive to you, and they don't like being in a submissive state, and that's not good. Fury is totally fine being on his back with me, okay? Not because, stay, he wanted to get up, but I'm not gonna let him, and he knows that he's not gonna like struggle. Now, when I see the dogs that are crazy and don't want to get on their back, it's because they haven't submitted and they need to be submissive with you. And this is not a mean thing. Be like, oh, this is mean. No, this is a structure thing. And the more structured he is, the better he's going to behave, the happier he's going to be. They love you more, for real, you know? Now, and we do this because, for example, maybe he growls at me, okay? We'll talk about more of that later. Or maybe he is not behaving, growls at another dog, and then I flip him over and I pin him. And what I do is you take a hand like this, like a bite, and you go like this. You don't choke them, you just pin them. Stay. And you make them stay there. Now this is a submissive state for him, and this is what would happen if in the wolf world, if another male got out of line with the alpha male, or got out of line trying to become alpha male, the other alpha male would beat him up a little bit, flip him over immediately, and pin him. And they would not let go of him until they calmed down, until the dog calmed down and was completely submissive. Now I let go. He's completely, don't you move. Don't move. He's checking. He wants to get up and see Cowboy. He wants to get up and see me, but he knows that he's showing submissiveness, and that's extremely good. Now, Fury is not scared of me. He just knows that I'm the boss. And this makes it extremely easy to deal with him. It makes him a good dog in the sense that now he knows I'm the boss. So what's that mean? That means if another dog does something bad, he's a lot less likely to attack it. Why? Because he knows I'm the boss, and he's not going to do anything until I do it. Because that's the way it would be done in the pack world, in the wolf world, is, okay, a dog's out of line, the alpha has to decide what gets done with that dog, not all the others, because that's how you create craziness. And that's really how we're people, you know, we're put in the real world, you know. If this person does something bad, I'm really not supposed to do anything until I talk to the cops and all that stuff, because they have, you know, ranking over me, and then they're going to do what they're going to do. But if everyone did everything, it would be complete chaos. So it's the same thing in the dog world, and you know, that's why it's so important to make sure they are. Fury is being so good. He really does not want to be on his back right now, though. He would love to be running around and messing with Cowboy. Just so you guys know, Cowboy is our camera guy. He has his own business, does everything. He's a very, very good camera guy, and like we call him Cowboy. He would be liking to jump on me and stuff, but he wants to, but I told him no. But he's already submissive to me. It's not like I have to worry about that. But if he wasn't, or if he was doing something bad, anytime that he would do something bad, the correct thing would be to you know, be verbal about it, no, whatever, and then immediately flip him over and pin him. Okay? That's if he was attacking another dog, growling at another dog, growling at another person when you didn't okay this, you know? Now, if I start to fight another person and then he jumps in and fights him, that's what, you know, that's a pack animal thing. I can't discipline him for that. And you should never discipline a dog for a dog thing, you know? Like for something like that example I just said right there. I wouldn't discipline him for that because that's what he should have done. That's what, you know, I trained him to do. But for stepping out of line, he should be disciplined. And discipline is not necessarily like violent, but it has to be done like this. And now he's stay. He thought I was telling him to get up. He won't get up. And also a very important thing, when you flip a dog and make them submit, is you don't let them up until you decide. You don't let them decide. Like if he wanted to get up, like I'm gonna try to let him get. Like if he wanted, he's not getting up. He's such if he wanted to get up, he's not allowed up until I say, which is very important because he has to understand I'm the boss, and him understanding I'm the boss gives us a way better relationship. Okay. I am your boss, right? Right, Fury? He's such a good boy. Like, honestly, too, like, I don't even know how good he is naturally and how good he is unnaturally, because I think he's just an amazing dog naturally. I've done very little training with this boy. Very little. But I also have this kind of, you know, this kind of swagger or whatever with all my dogs, so he probably knows that I am the alpha. And he's just naturally a good boy. Like, he just wants to listen. So I don't know if it's because I did it. I think it's a little bit of both. It's his DNA that he's just such a nice, docile dog, and then also because I'm very good with dogs. I know how to deal with them, and he's great. Now stay. So I'm gonna stand up. He might try to stand up. Stay. He understands that. stay. He understands the word stay. I'm gonna flip him over. You see him? He's cute. Stay. Stay. So sometimes they'll keep on trying. See, I have him by the neck. Not hurt, just pinching him. Very important too. You don't go where the windpipe is. They don't breathe that good. So I'll pinch him here. Stay. He's not trying to get up. So now he's completely submissive. Fury up. Up, boy. That's my boy. See? And he's so good. And this is a good dog. This is a good dog for me, for him, for everybody, for the group. He's not going to misbehave, everything, because he is submissive. He knows who's boss, but he's my boy, you know? And there's a difference between, like, people like, I don't want to do that, that's mean. It's not mean. This makes him behave better. This makes him live better, makes us live better. By him, you know, being in line. You know, if he was a highly aggressive dog because he was not submissive and he was attacking the other dogs, it would be a bad life, because now he can't be out and play with everyone. You know, he's a very sweet dog. So now I can't have him out to play with everyone. Now I can't have him to like with us doing things. You know, I don't ever have to worry about him. So he gets a lot of free time, a lot of attention, everything, because he is a good, submissive, docile dog. Right, Philly? Come on, let's go. Come on. All right, so let's go get Khaleesi and introduce you to Khaleesi. And let's do that right now. So Khaleesi, come here, babe. Khaleesi, babe, come on. Khaleesi, come on. Khaleesi again Khaleesi is one of my girls that she can never go anywhere. Like, even when she's retired, she has to stay with me. She's just attached to me. She loves me. Small little girl, amazing stance on her. Everything about her is really good. Her only weak flaw, I would say, is a little bit too much of an underbite, which is a common bulldog thing, and that's why we took her to a boy that has no underbite. Really small. As you can tell, she doesn't look big at all, like not fat, but I can just how she's been acting, I'm pretty sure she's pregnant. Some of you guys might say her face is a little red. She likes to rub her face, so we're always doing stuff to her face to just treat it and cleaning it. But she actually looks really good right now. Coat's great, everything. And we just can't wait for this one. She's like my little girl, super attached to me, and great structure. I love the fact that that has this nice straight back, a shorter back, not a crazy short back, but a shorter back, and nice head for a female, great stance for a female. Everything about her. Khaleesi, come on, Khaleesi, come. Please leave the camera alone. She's extremely functional. Khaleesi, come on. You know, obviously you can see that big thing that I am an advocate for is the functionality with the bulldogs, because I hate the dogs that can't move, can't breathe. Khaleesi, come. Khaleesi, baby. Come on, baby. she's my baby. Another flaw with her too that I actually have to check, speaking of that, Khaleesi, come here, is that she thinks she's boss sometimes and will attack another dog for being by me once in a while. Only like a female. Khaleesi, come. So she's one that I have to grab and say, Khaleesi, get over, flip over, and I have to make sure she stays here. See how she stays? Very good. Khaleesi, up, come on. But she will do that once in a while. She's the standard bull-headed bulldog, but I love this little girl. And she comes from really good lines. She comes from a UK mini line. Her parents are tiny as well too. And her famous dad is Mr. UK. Come on. And she's from a line that was like Mini before, like Mini was huge in the US. And then, and obviously she is very small. She's probably about 12 inches on the dot, maybe 11 point something. I actually have never measured her. And she's about 32 pounds, 35 pounds, depending on how fat she is. But she always stays pretty lean. That's how I know, just by, look at this, see how she's doing this? That's extremely good. She's not scaring me, but she just knows I'm the boss. Right, baby, come on, let's go. Let's go inside. Time to get fed, right? Let's go, come on, baby. Khaleesi, come. Okay, so we just saw Khaleesi and Fury. We did the flip over test. We showed you Fury, which is, that flip over test is amazing. I know a lot of people don't understand it and know why we do it, but I hope that helps you out a lot. And honestly, just doing that one little thing will make your dog a lot more submissive and, you know, behave better with you. And then Khaleesi, as you saw, she's gorgeous, and she is due. I can tell you right now when she's due. I think I'll tell you real quick. So one thing I do too as well, which is extremely important. I'll give you a little learning lesson here, what's not part of today's agenda, is the dog heats. Now, a dog's gestation period is 62 days, 58 to 62 days. That's the normal gestation period when, from the time of ovulation until the time they should have their puppies. Now, a misconception is people think that they count from the day that the dog did the breeding or the insemination was done or the first insemination, whatever. That's totally wrong. The way you count is date of ovulation, so when they first start to ovulate. That's why it's so important to do progesterone testing, because then you know exactly the date. Because if you don't do progesterone testing, you have a window, like 3 or 4 days, but 3 or 4 days is a big deal. For example, if you take the puppies at day 57 instead of that 58 to 62 window, or day 56, there's a huge chance those puppies are going to be undeveloped. Their lungs are not going to be right. So if the mom starts to go in labor too early, or if you do a C-section, because 99% of the time with bulldogs, it's a C-section you schedule. If you do a C-section a couple days too early, all the puppies could come out and not make it because their lungs aren't good, they're not developed, and 1 or 2 days is a huge deal. So that's why having the exact date of ovulation is so important. So we do the progesterone testing, and I know that based on my numbers, I have her ovulating on 8/7. So then I just count from there, 8/7, and she is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8. So she's actually not ready until the first week of October. 8 weeks. So on the 4th is October 4th is day 58. So I know between the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, is when she should start going to labor. And most likely, I like them to have their puppies around day like 61. So we're looking at the 7th or 8th is when she's gonna have her puppies of October. So Khaleesi's gonna have her puppies. She's still very early. I showed you her. She doesn't look fat at all. They're not gonna look fat or get that belly until around usually 5 weeks. Sometimes a little bit before, sometimes a little bit, sometimes after. They don't really start showing a lot until 5 weeks. So she's not showing, but just based on how Khaleesi acts, I pay so close attention to my dogs. Like Khaleesi is a very light eater. She's been eating a lot more lately, and she's been acting a little different. And I've seen her pregnant before, and she's acting the same way. So I would just say she's pregnant. I would bet. And then based off the progesterone, based off the semen, based off the inseminations, everything went perfect. I would say there's a 90% chance she's pregnant. Now there's always a chance that she could not be, and the reason is I don't know, but I would say she is, and we should see visibility of that in the next couple weeks, and then around 5 weeks, 30 to 35 days, if you don't see anything and you want to know for sure, you can do ultrasound, and they should show up on the ultrasound. So Khaleesi, as you can see, gorgeous dog, mom of Mr. President and Kilo, and we are super, super excited to see this one. And we, like I said, we brought in an Escobar brother from another litter that's in Texas, and we brought him in. Well, we didn't bring him in, but we shipped the semen to bring some new blood into the facility and just spice things up. And it's going to be really, really nice. So stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned on that. If I don't talk about it in the next one, you can leave comments, and I'll give everyone updates about that as well too. So now, talking about visitors and all those things, we've had lots of visitors lately. Because we're building, in my opinion, and we're going to be in competition. And I love this competition. Just so you know that I'm saying I have, and I'm about to make and producing the nicest dog facility in the world. And there's going to be other facilities that are very nice, and someone's like, oh, this one's nicer, or someone's going to see it and be like, I'm going to make my dog facility nicer. I love that, okay? Because I love now there's an argument who has the nicest facility, and I love that now all of us guys, or a couple of us, are now making nice facilities, and it's better for the dog. So there's no negative to this. Me saying I have the nicest dog facility, which I think I'm going to have, as far as functionality, as far as dog safety and health and all those things. But now there's other people out there that are trying to do better than me, which is great. And then when they do better than me, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna sit here. I'm gonna do better. So we're producing the nicest dog facility in the world, and we have people coming. Now, we've had, for example, Monster Aquatic Fish. I call him that because his name's Chase. Let me see. His name is Chase, but he's the owner of Monster Aquatic Fish on Instagram. It's a huge account. We're going to post it right here, and he has 188,000 followers. Super, super cool account.
What's up, guys? We're just getting back from our trip to Florida, and we had an absolutely amazing time down there. Now, the highlight of the entire trip had to be our visit to DaBestBulls Ranch in DeLand, Florida. I got to meet up with owner Jason Suarez, and it was just an incredible experience. We got to see all the dogs.
Oh my goodness. I could eat him up.
And let me tell you all something. The videos and pictures on Instagram do not do these dogs any kind of justice. They're the smallest micros I've ever seen in my entire life. So it was just so cool to watch them play around and just be dogs. And it was amazing to see his facility too, because that place is probably one of the best facilities in the entire country, if not entire world. I mean, it's just top notch. So we cannot wait to get a dog from him in the future. Jason is such a knowledgeable guy, and it was really cool to kind of pick his brain. And you know, he did an amazing job. So huge shout out to you, Jason. Thank you for letting us come by, and we can't wait to come back and visit.
On top of that, we have people coming for breedings.
We got one here from Actrite underscore something.
Actrite_good game. ACTRITE_good game.
So listen, this is how serious Roy is. Roy lives in freaking Northern California. Hopped on a flight to come out here and do a breeding with King Escobar. This girl is bad. We'll show you some pictures of her after too. Super, super nice. Chocolate fawn Merle. And you got different compliments with Roy right here. You guys are serious. We're gonna be dropping some crazy heat. I actually, just so you guys understand, I offered to take this girl off his hands, and he still said no. That's
Dedication, baby.
some nice stuff. I appreciate you guys coming out and seeing me.
We had another person on the same night drive in from Atlanta to drop their dog off with me, and I was gonna hold her. And they did a breeding with Esquire as well. Listen, he purchased this Fury daughter who is bad. I'm gonna get a good video of her. This Fury daughter over a year ago, and we're gonna take her now to Escobar. She's so nice. It's been really busy in that sense, as far as construction, all that stuff, and then as far as visitors, as far as doing breedings with our studs, and as far as just people wanting to come see the facility. So if you want to come see the facility, if you're interested in a dog, if you're not interested in a dog, whatever, I don't care. You can come. Just let me know. You can always message me, email me, DaBestBulls@gmail.com. You can message me on Instagram, at DaBestBulls Ranch. Find me on TikTok, DaBestBulls, and of course, here on YouTube, you can comment below, email me, whatever. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support regardless. That's why when people ask me questions about anything, I try to answer. That being said, little disclaimer for you is if you are going to ask me questions, you have to follow me on my accounts. That's my selfish thing. And then if you're gonna ask me questions, I have no problem answering it, but I have a lot of people lately asking me questions about like their stud that they used and how to deal with the litter and stuff like that. In my opinion, if you go to a stud, if you buy a puppy, any one of those things, like if you receive a stud service or receive a puppy, one of the big criteria is you should be getting that stud service or getting that puppy from somebody that has the knowledge to help you out. Because if they don't have that knowledge to help you out, they probably don't have knowledge to do everything right with all that stuff, but they should have the knowledge to help you out. So if you're coming to me, there's probably a hole in your game and whatever, but I have no problem helping. Like I said, like I'm not one of those guys that's not gonna help you because you didn't use my stud or you didn't get a puppy from me. I have no problem helping, but it's just something to think about. Okay, and now with the facility is always being done, and really we're not gonna be done with the facility for years to come. The majority of it will be done in the next couple of months, but now what we're doing is the lighting. We're doing the crazy bright LED lights all around the facility, so we're having that installed. We're doing the little lighting inside. We are doing little lights around underneath where the dog pens are on the outside. So the lighting's a big thing, and it's an expensive thing too. You wouldn't believe how much I've spent in just lights. One, the lighting is for obviously visibility. Two, security. It's very important for security, and just be out there. So we have that being done this week, and then on top of the other things that are being done, and then next week we should, or in the next couple weeks, we should be totally done with the concrete, and then the exciting part, which is the floors, will be done, which is awesome. And then the logos are coming in too. I'm gonna show you that as well. So look at, obviously we've shown you lights where we have these lights, all kinds of lighting. These are the ones that are going, the smaller ones, super nice. This is like, I think it's like 10,000 lumens. Guys, please! We have these little spotlights. They're gonna be going on a track, and we're gonna paint the AC thing black, and then they're gonna be a track there, and they're all gonna shine down the doors and inside the stalls. We have the logos that are gonna go in the middle of every stall, and then a logo probably right there as well too. So we have logos going all over this place, so when you see videos of the Best Bulls, you're gonna know it was shot at the Best Bulls Ranch. These are the stalls. Epoxy walls So it's, makes it so nothing, it's very easy to clean, no bacteria can seep into the concrete. It's gonna be very durable. The floor is polyaspartic with flakes. The polyaspartic clear coat is not on there yet because we're still waiting for the logo to go on, but extremely durable, watertight, seals everything, again, nothing get in. And if you look, well, these are nice. If you look, these are our dividers. Now it's hard to see my vision, but I promise you it's gonna look good. So this is cedar, but we decided we're gonna make this black, and we're gonna round these edges, and so it mimics this, so it's like another black post. Then we have the cedar wall. It's gonna be sanded and finished, very nice. And then we have another black post, so it's like black post, cedar wall in between. We have the live edge marble stone right here, and there's also gonna be a live edge marble stone cap on top of here. Just so you know, this has pretty much been my vision since the beginning, but it's very hard to explain. But now that I have all this stuff here, you can start to see it. I don't think you understand how good it's gonna look, but it's gonna look really nice. Now, this is all purely aesthetics and just making the place look amazing. One other thing I was gonna talk about, I have something crazy going right here. I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna say it right now so it gets done. It is an Escobar head. It's gonna be exact Escobar head on a little stand with his head. We have that coming. It's gonna either be metal or 3D printed. And then we have a huge metal statue coming as well too, custom made. And that's gonna be made in Russia actually. So we have stuff coming from everywhere. So every stall will have, I'm not sure if we're gonna do bronze, copper or gold, but it's gonna be, or black, one of those three colors. Comment below, tell me if you want the head to be in copper, gold, or black. Black obviously here, copper because of the cedar, or gold because of the cedar edge. So I'm not sure, but one of those three colors we're gonna do because the floor is gonna be black, gray, copper, and gold, swirled. So super nice stuff coming. You have to stay tuned. Nicest dog facility in the world being built. I think that's all today. So make sure you stay tuned. I really appreciate you watching. Please like, comment below, subscribe, click the bell, all that good stuff. Follow us at DaBestBulls Ranch on Instagram, DaBestBulls TikTok, DaBestBulls@gmail.com to message me, and of course comment below here. Thank you so much. And if you have any recommendations, make sure you tell me, but I will see you next week.